My loves, welcome to my channel Sun Love Stars. Welcome to today's reading. So in today's reading, I actually didn't plan to do a reading, which is why you only see the cards, but I also thought it would be nice for a change to just see the cards, you know, and feel the vibe of the cards. Today's pick a card reading is basically about what your soul needs to hear right now, because you know, I feel like we usually take care of our responsibilities, of you know, the things that we need to do, such as work or certain duties that we have, and sometimes we forget to take care of the soul, because the soul and your spirit and your heart is just as important as your body. But in today's society, it's all about functioning well, to go to school, to pay your bills and stuff like that, and we don't usually talk about like, what does your soul need? What does your spirit need? What does your spirit need to hear? What does your soul need to hear in order to rise? And my intention is also my intention with this reading is also about uplifting your spirit and uplifting your soul. It's almost like, you know, like an energizer, an energizing pick a card reading that, you know, uplifts your spirit, and that you just, you know, it's almost like you are recharging your soul, or you're listening, you're tuning into your soul, tuning into your spirit, tuning into your heart. So today's question is, what does your soul need to hear? Could also be that we're diving into self-care practices, you know, depending on what your cards are about or what your reading is about. So you can choose between pile number 1, 2, and 3. In the next clip, you can choose between those 3 piles, and I would say I'm going to see you in your reading, guys, and I hope it, you know, relaxes you and motivates you. A little bit of ASMR. Reiki ASMR. Okay guys, I'm going to see you in your reading. Hello my beautiful pile number 1. So let's look at your cards. Before we do that, I want to talk about the image that you chose. What I immediately felt with that image was that you're probably entering a new stage in your life, because this is literally like a gate. It almost feels like you are entering a new phase in your life, a new, let's say maybe even a new feeling, like I want my life to be different, or I want to do certain practices, like I want to have new habits or do new things. I want to just, you know, enter a life that is more true to who I am, you know. Because I feel like, you know, when we go to school and all of that, and then when we go to work, it is never about what do you want, right? We usually go to school because we have to. We usually go to work because we have to pay the bills, and it's not necessarily about what you want or what you want your life to look like. I also feel like in school or the way we are raised, it is never, you know, I recently went to the shopping mall, and I heard a woman say, you know, it's a proverb or a saying in my language, and it says, when I translate it, it's not like you can wish for what you want. And then I was thinking to myself, why not? Why do we have this saying in our language that it is not possible to wish for what you want, or like life is not about making wishes, you know, if I would translate it. And in my head I was like, why the heck not? You know, why would life not be about making wishes and making our wishes come true? You see, it's like it's almost like we accepted that life is a certain way, although it doesn't align with our soul. So what I'm feeling here is you're actually listening to your soul right now, or the feelings that you have been feeling, the thoughts that you had are really about the truth of your soul, the truth of your heart, you know, and it then also affects what your life basically looks like. So I'm feeling here that you're entering a new stage in your life, a new territory, or that is basically what you are longing for, to have a life that feels more free, that feels more calm, because the white color here also to me tells me about like the purity, you know, like the purity of your life, or an energy where you just feel like there's nothing toxic in your life, right? This is what it feels like to me. So I'm definitely feeling here that you are entering something new here. This could be that you are in the process of doing things differently in your life, such as like, you know, attending courses, classes, or thinking about relocating. This could also be that you recently had a change of mind, that you thought you wanted something but you changed your mind about it, or that you're really getting clear about what you truly want, or what you truly want your life to look like. So you're definitely entering something new here, a new stage of life, a new territory, an unknown territory. Now let's look at your cards. Give me a second, guys. Oh, I'm gonna do it like this. So, okay. Let's look at your cards first. Okay, we have here trust the universe. We have know your worth. We have see the bigger picture. Okay, I was just like cleaning my table, now the cards are sticking. Okay, give me a second, guys. We have risk here. Abundance, look at that. Money, money, money. Okay, I think it's about your career, or there's something about your career that you want to change or that is changing. Let's see, we have priorities here as well. Then we have find your motivation. Look at this card. I'm actually going to read out from the book. Give me a second. Okay, find your motivation. Where am I going to put this? Hold on. How about that? So you're actually seeing what's going on here. And then we have entrapment. And we have discover your life purpose. And I already felt that this is definitely going to be a reading about your life purpose. We're going to dive into that in a second. So what I'm feeling here is, guys, the energy that I'm picking up here is because we have risk here. This is the card that sticks out to me the most. It has risk, and it says take a chance. Every risk is a success when you're committed to learning and growth. So it almost feels like you feel like you want to take a risk in life, or your soul is telling you life has been dull, life has been not the way I need it to be in order to feel peace in my soul, in order to feel excitement in my soul, right? In order to feel alive. So this is definitely about like taking a risk, doing something that you were maybe scared of, or doing something like your wildest dreams. For me, for example, I always wanted to relocate, and I'm in the process of, you know, getting ready and stuff like that. But I think when I am at the airport and I have my suitcases, I will probably feel a little bit shaky on my feet or on my legs, in a sense where it's a big risk, right, to relocate, to go to a different country. This could also be about like you finally feeling like you want to maybe like go on a solo trip. This is definitely about doing something that you were scared of, or that you are scared of, but at the same time, and it excites your soul. It makes you feel like every time you think about this scenario, right, this scenario that requires for you to take a risk, at the same time, when you feel fear, you also feel excitement. You also feel like, oh my God, that would be such a lovely thing to experience in life, or this is exactly what I want to experience. Although I'm scared, I still know that I want it, right? For example, you know, when we talk about like feeling fear at the same time as excitement, this could also be, you know, if we look at an example, you want a very high paid job, right? But this high paid job also requires for you to, you know, like do meetings with hundreds of people, and that of course would kind of like bring out your stage fright, but it's also something that you always wanted to do. You always wanted to be on stage and give TED Talks, but you also are scared to, you know, talk to a huge audience. So there's an energy here where Spirit is saying it is time for you to take a risk and see what happens, because no matter what happens, your soul is growing. No matter what happens when you take this risk, right, or when you start to do like little small steps towards taking that risk, you are learning, your soul is growing, your soul is expanding, and you're just becoming stronger no matter the outcome, no matter what happens. You know, for example, you were always shy or have like social anxiety, right? But you want to go to a meditation class with other people, you know, it takes a lot of energy from you to go there because you are somewhat scared, but sometimes it's important to face our fears, because then we see, oh, it wasn't that bad, or it wasn't the worst case scenario that I had in my head, right? Or it wasn't really like that bad, or I met lovely people there, it was amazing, it was the complete opposite of what my fear was telling me, right? So it's almost like accepting that you are fearful, but at the same time not letting fear stop you from doing things that truly excite you, that truly make you feel like I am alive, my soul is happy, I am happy, my spirits are uplifted, you know. And we also have here trust the universe. So what I'm feeling here is, this is you're probably in a stage of your life where you have to trust the universe because you don't know the outcome, or you don't know where your life is going, or you have a plan for yourself, but at the same time, for example, if I relocate, I don't know what it will be like. I don't know if I can handle all the challenges that come towards me, right? Although I know my soul needs that relocation, it also requires for me to trust in the universe. Now I know that it is not always that easy to trust the universe, to just say like, oh, trust the universe. And then you're like, well, I would trust the universe if I could, but there's some sort of resistance. So what I'm feeling here is, if you feel resistance to when it comes to trusting the universe or trusting your path, this is definitely asking you to dive a little bit deeper into your connection with spirit. What does connect you with spirit? Does it mean that you need to do some type of rituals, or does it mean that you need to go into the forest and hug trees? Does it mean you need to stargaze a little bit more, moon gaze a little bit more? Does it mean for you to journal or write a letter to spirit? Does it mean for you to ask for a sign from spirit, to ask for a sign from the universe? So this is definitely about as your life becomes a little bit more risky, in a sense where you do things that might be out of the norm, you also, like, your strongest source of trust will be the universe, but that also requires for you to kind of like, you know, deepen the connection, just like you deepen the connection with your friends, or deepen a connection with your future spouse, or well, I always do future spouse readings, so that's already in my head. So when you are in a relationship with somebody, you know, you also deepen your trust by talking to them, by listening to them, by being with them, right? That's the same with the universe. Just because the universe is an energy that we cannot necessarily grab, although we can, because the universe is birds, the universe is the trees, you know, the universe is the clouds, the moon, the stars, everything you see up in the sky, that is the universe. So I think there is an energy here where spirit is saying, talk more to us, speak more to us, connect more with us, you know, connect more with your spirit guides, connect more with the universe, and just be, you know, do whatever feels good to you. If you don't feel like you are in alignment with like doing all kinds of rituals or buying crystals or something like that, then don't do it, then do something else. But if you feel like when I touch crystals I feel calm, then get yourself crystals, you know. It's interesting because I have a very deep, I'm also not a person, I am not necessarily like so much into crystals, but the rose quartz is such a strong energy. Like every time I wear rose quartz, I feel love, and I feel like I'm inviting love. So maybe that might also be a crystal that is important to you. And I just heard a bird. So there might be, if you feel drawn to it, don't do it if you don't feel drawn to crystals. Yeah, but rose quartz is very, very helpful when it comes to feeling love or feeling secure, you know. So that's definitely an energy that I'm seeing here. We also have new moon in Taurus. We have a new moon in Taurus here, and it says know your worth. And it's interesting how the cards came out, because we also have abundance here, right? And Taurus is about money. Taurus is the second house, which is about your belongings, your money, any valuable stuff that you have. And it says it says being a thoughtful steward for the money you already have is the secret to creating more abundance. When you trust yourself to handle more, that's when more shows up. It's interesting, there's also the word trust again. So there's something about you trusting the universe, you trusting yourself. I'm also feeling an energy here. Guys, I'm feeling an energy here where Spirit is saying that they gifted you with something, because we're talking about life purpose, right? So the interesting thing is, I know that it is not always easy to find out your life purpose, and it's like ever evolving, ever changing, you know. 1 or 2 years you feel like that is your life purpose, and then you feel like, oh, I want to do something else. So your life purpose does not mean it's one certain thing and that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Sometimes it is as easy as relocating. It is as easy as, you know, connecting with people from different cultures. That could be a purpose, you know. Now, if you really, really want to find out what your purpose is, I would highly suggest for you to, first of all, you know, I feel like that Spirit or the universe always gifts people with something, right? For some people, they were gifted with a lovely voice. For other people, they were gifted with, like, let's say they're amazing, you know, on stage when they perform and dance. For other people, they were blessed with psychic abilities, right? So look at your talents, your natural talents. This could be as small as cooking, or it's not small, but you know what I mean. Like, it could be cooking. It could be maybe like you are very creative, or you have like a lot of ideas. Some people were blessed to become entrepreneurs because they always have ideas to like create shops or something like that. This could also be cooking, right? If your cooking is really, really good, you might be destined to open up your restaurant. So I would look at what your skills are, or what you naturally like to do, and you also feel like, oh, I'm actually really good at that. And it might take a little bit of time, because I recently just realized that I'm really good at something and I didn't even notice. Like, all these years, that was like the essence of my soul, you know, and I didn't realize that I was really good at it, you know. And then I was like, oh my God, that is my purpose, you know. So it's a little bit of, it almost feels like a little bit of like, you know, also deepening your connection with your soul, which means like just sitting down and not being distracted by anything such as like, you know, YouTube or watching Netflix. You know, it's always good, you know, but at the same time, you also sometimes need time for yourself to just listen to your own thoughts and hear your own voice. I would also highly suggest for you to listen to some meditation music or some relaxing music, or, you know, like go for a walk outside in the evening, you know, look at the stars and just like contemplate, or just look into your soul, what you are naturally good at, or what you naturally do, or what naturally brings you happiness, makes you feel excited, you know. Another thing when it comes to life purpose is also sometimes people overcome very, very hard challenges, right? Some people, for example, they went through a near-death experience, right? And this near-death experience had to happen in order for them to teach people how to be connected to Spirit. So sometimes your life purpose is also connected to something that you overcame in your life. This could be that you overcame anxiety, or you overcame feeling abandoned by your parents, or you overcame rejection, you overcame heartbreak, you know. Sometimes our purpose also lies there, where we, you know, help other people to overcome what we already overcame. And again, sometimes your purpose is just connected to the things that you deeply, deeply desire, that truly, that your soul and heart calls out for. So I feel like you're definitely in an energy where you are fulfilling your life purpose. You're basically entering this energy of like, my life, I fulfill my purpose, my soul purpose, I fulfill it, you know. You're walking right into that energy. This is what is coming to you in the future. We also have here, see the bigger picture. Hold on a second. We have here, see the bigger picture, which is full moon in Sagittarius. So what I'm feeling here is with the see the bigger picture energy, it almost feels like this is really about like, what I'm feeling here is it almost feels like, see yourself connected to the whole world, you know, see yourself connected to the whole world, because I feel like there's an energy where you might find yourself feeling trapped in a certain situation. You might even find yourself feeling lonely, feeling trapped, or feeling like there's no excitement in my life, and you know, you kind of like lost your motivation or lost your love for connecting with people. And I almost want to say your soul is longing to connect with new people is something that I'm feeling here, because it's almost like we sometimes need to hear certain things, like when we meet new people. Even that could be connected to your life purpose, meeting new people, right? Or going out, because I really feel like this is like somebody, they're alone and they feel trapped in a certain situation, but at the same time, there's always something that you can do in order to feel not as trapped, you know? It's not like you are in a prison cell, right? Sometimes our mind feels like it, but it's not necessarily true. It's an illusion. So we always have the ability, or always have the possibility of connecting with people, whether that would be online, whether that is going to like a cooking class, a yoga class, a meditation class. This is definitely about like connecting to other people, because I feel like they play an important part in you, like, you know, like a puzzle piece, you know. Sometimes when you talk to other people, they help you to discover a puzzle piece that is very, very important. And the bigger picture also talks about that you play a bigger role in this big picture here with your life purpose, right? That you also play, it's almost like you're not this nobody that you think you are, or you're not this person that has no power. You're actually, the universe actually saying that you are going to play a big part, a big role in the universe. You know, everybody is important in this universe. Everybody is unique and everybody is important. And I feel like there's an energy where you maybe there is an energy, because it says know your worth, right? So it's almost like you feel like there's nothing, you have no talent, you have no skills, which is absolutely not the truth, because you were gifted with something, whether that is a lesson that you learned, whether that is something that is very natural to you. And I feel like it is time for you to take a risk and actually do the things that make you feel like empowered, make you feel like, okay, I'm gonna take a risk, right? Because here she's like maybe even scared to take a risk, and here's like, okay, I'm going to take a risk. I'm also going to see life a little bit more playful, right? To see life a little bit more playful in a sense where, fuck it, I'm just going to do it and see what happens. You know, life is not that serious. I also feel this energy of like, life is not that serious, and at the same time we can also make life a little bit more fun and joyful, right? Which is, I think, something that you need to do. There's almost this energy of like, if we look at this card here, it's almost like it's an absolutely different energy here, where here she's like, she has no lust for life, or she feels like life is boring, or, you know, there's not much that I can do about my situation. But if you look at the bigger picture, there is something that you can do about your situation, but you need to take a risk. You need to get out of your comfort zone. And here it looks like she feels alive, she feels connected to spirit, right? She it's almost like she dares, it's almost like dare to take risks. I'm also hearing damned if you do, damned if you don't. So maybe this is also about like you being scared of like what other people will say when you do the things that you truly want to do. and people will judge you either way. So you might as well do something that you absolutely freaking love and that is going to be like risky, but at the same time, it also, I feel like you are the type of people, you want to live life to the fullest, to the point where when you are 80 years old, you're thinking like, wow, I did those crazy things in my life and I really felt alive, you know, when I was young, basically. We also have here priorities. And it says, the quality of your life is determined by how you spend your time, you see. Make sure your schedule reflects the life that you want. Okay, this is what we were talking about. Not necessarily happy with life because something is lacking. It could be excitement, it could be motivation, it could be not knowing where to go, could be like, I don't know what my life purpose is. And Spirit is saying, that you need to kind of like adjust what your life looks like in order to almost like be connected. It feels like because it talks about that the quality of your life is determined by what you choose to do during the day, right? So what would make your life, what would make your day a little bit more beautiful? Is it painting? Is it doing rituals? Is it journaling, right? For example, for me, what I have discovered is that when I journal, I feel like I already lived the life that I want, and it makes me happy. So it kind of like brings more happiness to my daily life, although I also sometimes feel trapped, right? But it still makes me kind of like connected to the spark of the future and, you know, what my life could possibly look like if I stay determined, right? So there's definitely an energy here that Spirit or your soul is saying you need to change something about your daily life. Maybe you need like an hour where you do creative things. Maybe you need an hour where you are truly connected to Spirit and you do rituals. Maybe you need an hour where you go out and talk to new people. Maybe you need to go to a class to meet new people. Maybe you should download an app and talk to new people and just, you know, meet with them. So there's definitely an energy that you can upgrade the quality of your life by making different decisions and doing something where you're like, nah, I'm not sure about it. I mean, I would love to, but I'm scared, or it's risky in a sense where, you know, like, do I really want to go on a solo trip? You know, of course, always be safe, but at the same time, it also brings the fun and excitement into our life when we do something that is risky, right? Of course, always be safe. With risky, I just mean things that you might be scared of, or things that require for you to have a little bit more courage in the situation. We also have here, find your motivation. So this almost talks about an energy here. Actually, guys, give me a second because I'm going to read out the card from the book, and I'm going to be there in a second. Okay, guys, I got the book. Also, something that I want to say is what I'm feeling here is, if you make happiness your priority every day, for example, you have a job that you absolutely hate, I understand. But there's still something that you can always look forward to. I was also saying that in another reading, but let's say you want to become a multi-millionaire because you want to have the money to have financial freedom and do everything that you want. You know, a millionaire still enjoys his coffee in the morning, right? Just in a huge mansion, but it is just like this, the surroundings are different maybe, but you know, the things that make you happy will not necessarily change. Like, you love hot coffee, you know, in the morning, you love hot chocolate in the evening, you love to read a good book, you love to watch movies, you know, you can still enjoy all those things, right? Although you're not yet a millionaire, let's say, because a millionaire still loves his favorite movie, he still loves to go out and drink, this person still probably is really excited about dating or meeting new people. What I'm trying to say is that a millionaire still loves to do these small things. He still wants to have a family. We can still enjoy all those things, right? Because I feel like you might feel stuck financially here, or you might feel like, you know, maybe everybody's living their high life, everybody has a huge amount of money, look at all these people that are successful, and look at me, look at my life, you know? Honey, listen, Linda, I understand you. I understand that you feel trapped, but this trap is just an illusion. It talks about see the bigger picture, try to see things from a neutral perspective, not necessarily even a positive one, because that seems to be like a very negative outlook. Which is totally fine. We have our gloomy days, that's normal. The sun is not always shining, okay? But try to see things from a neutral perspective, that you don't feel necessarily positive about it or negative, just neutral, like, well, I feel trapped, I feel like my life is not as I want it to be, but at the same time, maybe I can change something small. You know, maybe there are small things and small changes that I can do that will help me to feel at least better, right? That at least make me feel like excited about the weekend, for example, because it also talks about find your motivation. We're going to talk about this card in a second. Another thing that I want to say is I also feel like you are about to enter a life where you will probably make lots of money, or you will finally manifest the financial freedom that you always wanted to have, and it is connected to your life purpose. I feel like whether or not you are already aware of your life purpose, or you finding out more details about your life purpose also brings a lot of abundance to you. I also want to say, for some of you guys, with the Know Your Worth card in abundance, it's almost like Spirit gifted you with something, and it's okay for you to charge money for that, okay? It's okay for you that, you know, it's interesting because I always say that to my friends, like, you know, people look bad at like singers, or like, you know, like, oh, singing is not like a real job. But if you think about it, what a singer does is he brightens up, or a singer brightens up our mood, our day, makes us feel excited and happy and joyful about life, right? So people would not necessarily, like, you know, the conservative people would say, oh, becoming a singer is not a real job, become a doctor. But a singer is just as important on planet Earth. What would we do without music, right? Know your worth. So if you're doing something, if you feel like you are an artist, but you know it's not worth any money, or you cannot make any money with it, art makes life beautiful. You know, people love art. It makes people happy. It something happens inside of them. They could have like a spiritual awakening because of an art piece, you know. It could also bring good energy, good feng shui in the apartment if they buy your art, you know. So there's an energy of like, know your worth, know that the skill that you have, or something that you have been gifted with, you can indeed make money with it. For some of you guys, if you already have something in mind. Now let's read out this card here. Give me a second, guys. Also, this is the number 11, and 11 always stands for a new beginning. So I feel like you're entering a life here. You're entering a life where you trust the universe, where you take risks, right? Where you know your worth and know I can charge money for that. It's totally fine. I give something valuable to people, right? I have something valuable that helps people, that makes people joyful, that makes people happy, right? And I also adjust my life here with the priorities. I change my priorities so that they reflect the life that I want, right? I no longer feel trapped, or I do accept that my life is not the way I want it to be, but I am open to make changes, see the bigger picture of the situation, right? And fully dive into what is truly my purpose, or what do I choose my purpose to be on planet Earth. Okay, so it says, find your motivation. The universe responds to your intentions whether or not you know what they are. The more conscious, direct, and focused you are, the more you can successfully co-create with the universe to manifest the outcome you'd like to experience. Ask yourself, what is motivating you in the situation? What do you ultimately want to build, offer, learn, receive, or achieve, and why? If your intention is born out of love and a desire to bring more unity, harmony, and connection into your heart and the world, you will instantly experience more success by bringing this intention to your conscious awareness and phrasing it clearly and I don't know what that word means. So it talks about, Spirit is saying they need more clear, it's almost like Spirit needs more clear guidance from you as to what you want. So it's almost like they cannot make things happen for you because maybe your intentions are not 100% clear, or maybe they just want you to write things down. They want you to speak to them so that they know what exactly you want. It's almost like you need to order at a restaurant. You need to order exactly what you want, so you get exactly what you want, you know. That's what I'm feeling here. Any intention that is less than pure, such as desire to impress, gain attention, assert your superiority, osage your feelings of inferiority, or fulfill some sort of social norm or expectation, will benefit immensely when you realign it with the highest vibration and ultimate truth of who you are, which is simply love. This is the essence of alchemy, which is often defined as the Renaissance era art and science of transmuting base metals into gold. Spiritually, this is a metaphor for transforming worldly desires and mundane energies into transcendent beauty and divine magic. For example, if you dance, you feel special or show your superiority. No matter how technically perfect your moves are, the performance will lack true inspiration or awe. However, if you redirect the intention to embody divine light, your performance will blossom and will be remembered. Furthermore, within the collective consciousness, the positive and transformational effects of your performance will reverberate for months, years, and even decades to come. Once you state your intention, doors will fly open. Ooh. Once you set your, I'm gonna read it out. Once you state your intention, doors will fly open. You see, the door is open. You're doing a great job, pile number 1. The door is open. Now it's time for you to walk the path, to walk the talk. Okay? Doors will fly open. Your next step will be clear, and you will feel powerfully guided to take confident steps to propel you in the direction of your goal. You see, that is lovely. Okay, my beautiful pile number 1, I hope this reading helped you. Let me know if you resonate with it. And I would say I am going to see you in my next one. I wish you a lovely, lovely day. Bye. Hello, my loves. Hello, my beautiful pile number 2. I just want to sage a little bit. Let's see what your soul wants you to know. Do you know what I'm feeling here intuitively? It's interesting because pile number 1 and pile number 3 had images, right? Like of flowers or of the door, but you have an image that looks like a painting. So I almost want to say I'm feeling a strong energy. Let me cleanse you guys. So I'm feeling a strong energy here that I'm feeling a strong artistic energy, whether or not you are like you want to become a painter or something like that. But I feel like your soul wants you to express art, whether that is through dancing, drawing, making a new vision board, or really like buying a canvas and just, you know, letting your painting happen, you know, without anything in mind. You just let your soul speak, you know, and put it on a canvas. This is something that I'm feeling here. This does not mean that you will, for example, the canvas or you painting does not necessarily have a purpose, but it is about like seeing what your soul, it's almost like putting the essence of your soul onto a canvas, onto a piece of paper. This could also be through poetry. There's something, I feel like your soul wants to speak through art. That's what I'm feeling here. And again, this does not mean that you for example, sell the art or something like that. This is really just about you expressing what you're currently feeling in your heart, you know. Sometimes it's also very, very beneficial because we can see like, oh, this is what I really desire, or this is something that I really, really, you know, I really, really connect to right now. This is very important to me right now. And you can only see that through a painting that you do or a poem that you write, you know. It's interesting because I watched, her name is The Purple Palace, and it's interesting because I have been doing a vision board too, but she said she likes to do vision boards because it shows her what is important to her. And I was like, wow, I never looked, because I was like thinking, oh, I would like to do a vision board, but I never saw it from that perspective, that if I look at the vision board, my heart is on that vision board, right? what is the most important to me, my deepest desires are on that canvas, you know. And I never looked at it. I just was like, oh, I want to make this vision board to manifest things. But if you look at it, it's a reflection of your soul. So it's almost like your soul wants to be put on a piece of paper, on a canvas. There's something about that you truly express what you're currently feeling, your deepest desires, you know, with some type of art project that might be only for you. It might be such a beautiful painting that you put it on the wall, or it might be a painting that you put in like a little box that was good for you to create at that point in time, but it does not necessarily have a bigger purpose other than expressing the soul onto something, you know, expressing your heart, your spirit onto something. Okay, let's look at your cards, guys. Give me a second. Okay, we have here, take a reality check. It's interesting because if we think about a vision board, right? A vision board is actually a reality check. It's like, what kind of reality do I want to actually manifest? Like, what is actually important to me? Sometimes it's important for us to gather our, you know, like how we have a scattered mind. We think about this, we think about that, but to really put it onto a piece of paper through art, making it an art piece, you know, a poem, whatever it is, really shows us like, oh, you know, that's a, you know, I'm checking in with my soul, basically, what my soul truly needs. So we have here, take a reality check, embrace the flow of life. We have, and we have practice gratitude. Let me see, let's get the other cards here. So we have reassess, so this is definitely about rethinking. And it's interesting because there's two energies here as well. I almost want to say it has something to do with the present moment where you are at right now, and the reality where you want to be. But let's see. I just want to see the other cards. We also have time here. And we have focus. Okay. We also have, oh, there's another card. We have offer here. That's a lovely card. I'm going to put it here so you guys can see. And then we have here courage and take off your mask. I actually love that card here. Take off your mask. So there's something about being true to yourself. I'm also feeling here, take off your mask does not mean, you know, we're going to talk about it in a second. And then we have courage here. Okay. Let's look at the cards. So what I'm feeling here is the card says you have the right to change your mind. So there's an energy here. Okay. So there's an energy here where Spirit is saying you have the right to change your mind. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like somebody who thought my life is going to be that way, or I have to do this and I have to do that, or you have like a specific plan, like what your life should look like, right? Or this type of like, I want to become an accountant because accountants make good money and stuff like that, and you already planned everything to do that, and you know, it's almost like it feels like maybe you made a plan for yourself, right? And you're now seeing maybe the plan is not necessarily in alignment with my soul and my heart anymore. Maybe I need to make certain changes because it doesn't feel right. It almost feels like maybe you set the intention to reach a certain goal, right? This is my goal. This is what I want to do, right? But now you're feeling like you get less and less motivated, or you get less and less excited about this goal. This is almost like your spirit saying, it almost feels like change the course, or it's okay for you to go in a different direction, you know. It's okay for you to change your mind about your life, about your choices. Maybe, you know, 1 month ago you were absolutely happy about that decision, and now you feel like it's not in alignment with your soul anymore. I am feeling here, because it almost looks like there's two sides to her, right? And we also have the mask card here. So what I'm feeling here, sometimes we make decisions, right? And we feel like those decisions are what we want. but is it really what we want, or is it influenced by, you know, the expectations of our parents or the expectations of society? Is it, you know, like influenced by how much money will I make with it? Is it influenced by how will other people see me, my reputation, right? So we think, I make the decision to become an accountant, but is it really your decision, or is it a decision that was influenced by all kinds of factors that were not your soul? So I'm feeling an energy here. There's an energy where you might thought, or you always had this idea of like living this type of life because, you know, it's like a good reputation. Or what I'm also feeling here, like artists that don't become professional artists, or that don't you know, follow the path of becoming an artist, because they feel like in society artists are looked down upon, right? So they wear a mask, acting as though they are part of society. Maybe you also always try to be part of society, try to be just as other people, right? You don't want to be looked at, you don't want to have people looking at you sideways because you do things differently. You don't want people to ask you questions like, can you really make money with that, or why do you do this, or what is a psychic? And you know those weird questions that we get when we do something that is out of the norm. Maybe you were trying to avoid that, or you were trying to avoid that you have to kind of like you know, almost like that you have to defend yourself or defend your decisions. What I'm feeling here is, the energy that I'm picking up here is, it is really time for you to look at your life and see if it is truly in alignment with you, and if it is truly like, because I'm seeing here like ticking the boxes, and it's almost like, for example, if I say I want a life that is peaceful, or I want a life that is full of excitement, or I want a life where I help people, right? It's almost like, can you tick the boxes when you look at your reality? Can you tick the boxes that with your values, you know, the things that you value? You know, make it simple. You know, ask yourself simple questions. You know, do I really feel like I have a deeper purpose when I do that? Or is it really in alignment with who I am, or am I scared? Sometimes we also make decisions out of fear, like, right? Let's say I want to live in Costa Rica, but I'm scared. So I live in my hometown. Now, is that decision really your decision, or is it a decision that was driven by fear, right? There's definitely an energy here where you have to kind of like reassess your life, look at your life. It's also okay to change your life completely, or to change little things in your life, right? There's an energy of like a reality check here that you have to do, that your soul wants you to do. We also have here full moon in Gemini. It says embrace the flow of life. It's so interesting because I keep seeing like that you have two sides to you. I don't know what this is about. Pie number 2 is also like two sides of the coin, or maybe that you have, you can, this could also be like, if I think about an example, there is a reader on YouTube. She was very successful in a job, working as a, I don't know, she did something with architecture. She was studying it, she had good grades, right? This is one side to you. I feel like you have two sides to yourself, you know, and one side is your true self, and the other side is a self that maybe is like, you perform really, really good at school, really, really good at your job, but on a deeper level, you're actually a psychic, you're actually an artist, you're actually somebody who wants to kind of like, I don't know, like fly to India to be with monks, you know. There's something about you have two sides to you, and it almost feels like you know, your false self, or maybe what people perceive you as. Maybe you're also hiding certain things about your character, about your soul, about what you truly like, right? Maybe you're hiding your spirituality. Maybe you're hiding that you actually are really talented when it comes to art, right? So there is definitely an energy here where there's two roads. Oh my god, okay, there's a quote, or I forgot about who it is. I'm trying to, you know, say it properly, but I'm not sure. I might put it here like somewhere. It talked about that somebody walked in a forest and the person took the road less traveled by. So the last sentence of this poem, it's interesting because it is a poem. It says, and I took the road less traveled by, and that made all the difference. So maybe there's like two decisions, two ways you could go in life, right? Two ways you could go in life, two options that you have, two sides to yourself. And one is your true self, and the other one is somewhat influenced by certain belief systems, by fear, driven by reputation, all these things, right? So I'm feeling an energy. That's why it is about the reality check here. It's almost like you have to check in with your own, with yourself, and ask yourself those deep questions, right? Ask yourself those deep questions so you can get an answer. Write those answers down. Ask yourself questions and write your own answers down and see what, and express it from your soul, not necessarily from your mind, but try to, you know, tap into your soul and your heart when you give those answers, right? It says, embrace the flow of life. So this could be that you are somebody, because we have Capricorn here, that you do not like when there are changes. You might be somebody, you like structure, you like order, you like, maybe you get a little bit anxious when things don't go the way you want them to go, or when there's like a, let's say, you try to control things, or you want to be in control of your life, you want to be in control of what happens in the future. And Spirit is saying it almost feels like loosen your grip, because it almost feels like when you loosen your grip, when you tune more into your intuition and into your soul, when you stop to control things and just let them happen as they happen, right? Maybe, I'm sorry guys, because I'm feeling here this is something about like you made up your mind about something and now you're seeing like, I want to change, or I feel like I need to change, or your soul is saying a change is needed. When we look at it practically, maybe you make good money, maybe everything is stable, but your soul is not happy, right? Maybe it looks good on paper, maybe you have a good reputation, but it doesn't feel good to your soul. Embrace the flow, embrace that you feel those emotions. This is also about embracing your emotions, right? Cry when you feel like crying. Write down everything that you feel when you're crying, you know? To me, it feels like maybe you're also like a perfectionist and you feel like life has to be perfect, but sometimes we need those bumps. Sometimes we need those rocky roads and those bumps in the streets, because first of all, they make us feel alive. It cannot always be sunshine. We also need the rain, you know, in order for flowers to grow. We have a flower here, so we need both of those energies. It's almost like life is not meant to be perfect, you know. Life is meant to be lived to the point where you can say, I feel it with my soul, you know, I feel alive, and I feel like my soul is alive and my soul is, you know, uplifted, right? We also have offer here. So maybe your life looks really good on paper, you have a good reputation, but it is not truly you. I feel like you have two sides to you, you know, there's two sides to the coin, two sides. It's like, I also feel like there's a hidden part of your character, of your personality that you did not show. There's something that you have been hiding about yourself and about your personality. And Spirit is saying, take the mask off, okay? It's time for you to show your true self. It's time for you to show yourself that was hidden, you know, that you were hiding. This card also says time spent worrying is time spent. So I'm also feeling here, maybe you have this fear of like, I'm already old, or time is running out, or you know, other people achieved more things than me, or I'm too old to make a change in life, right? I'm too old to make a change, or I already put 3 years into this project and I cannot just throw it away. But if it does not feel right, what do you think what the outcome will be? The outcome might be good on paper, but will it feel good? You know? So if it doesn't feel right, trust this feeling. Embrace the flow. If it does not feel right, trust this feeling, okay? And Spirit is also saying there is no need for you to worry, because to me it almost feels like there is a divine order. It's almost like do you know what it feels like? To me, it feels like it was all predestined, that you feel a little bit unsure about your reality and about your future, about your decisions. Spirit has planned that, because I feel like they're kind of like redirecting you in the right direction. Not that you are on the wrong path, but you might have been on a path that people, like that a lot of people are doing, or like a lot of people took this road, right? But you're meant to take the road less traveled by. You're meant to take the road that is unique, you know, unique to you and your soul, when before you might have done what everybody has been doing, you know. We also have here practice gratitude, and we have the focus card. So it says, if you focus on what you don't want, there is a good chance you might get it. Focus on what you do want. So the energy that I'm picking up here immediately is you are very much aware of what you don't want, right? You don't want this, you don't want that, and it is absolutely amazing that you know what you don't want. Now, again, two sides of the coin, right? Two sides to the conversation. Now, what do you do want? What do you do want? It is absolutely amazing that you know what you don't want. Now make a list about what you do want, and how do you get there, or how can you incorporate it. It could be as simple as, I want peace in my life, or I want alone time in my life, or I want time to spend with my friends. Or it could be big things like, I want to make a huge amount of money, you know. And if you focus on that, then you also get the answers to the question, how do I get there, right? And if you focus on that, you embrace the flow. The embracing the flow also is an energy where you go with your intuition. Now, the interesting thing is intuition is very, very calm, but it also actually brings me to the next card, because as you can see, he has like a little lamp here, and in traditional tarot it is usually the Hermit card that has like this little, I don't know how you call it, lantern, lamp or whatever, and this symbolizes the question, like, I feel like there is more for me to discover, or I feel like there's a truth, I feel like there's something, because the Hermit goes on a journey to discover the truth, to discover his own truth, to discover his purpose. Could also be to discover a question, an answer to his question. So it's okay for you to question yourself. It's okay for you to question your life. And when you have those feelings coming up of like something does not feel right, it is there for a reason. And Spirit is saying, be courageous to really, really go down the rabbit hole and find the answers to your questions here, right? To make it your focus to find answers to your questions. Now, the intuition thing is, if you look at this card, maybe this guy had an intuition that he wants to go to a specific forest. He does not know why, but he feels like there is something that he needs to see, something that he needs to look at, right? So he goes, he follows his intuition, he embraces the flow of life, right? He does something because he feels like there is something behind it, right? He feels like, I want to discover something, I want to see what is behind that. And because he does that, he also walks a path less traveled by, right? Because he does that, he discovers things that other people do not discover. Also, he will discover opportunities, right? If I ask myself, how can I make $20,000 a month? And if it's truly like my intention, to do something that I absolutely love, but at the same time it also brings huge amounts of money to me, and this is my focus. It is my focus, right? I come up with ideas. Those ideas might be amazing. Sometimes those ideas are not necessarily, like, they have to be refined, or like they have to be fine-tuned. But if you focus on that, you will find the answers. It's almost like focus on the question, right? Focus on, like, instead of like, I want a bigger apartment but I don't have the money, then the question would be, how can I create a second source of income so I can afford this bigger apartment? And then the search is beginning, right? The search is beginning. You just go with the flow, you go with your intuition. You might feel like you want to go into the city and walk a street that you never, or like take a walk in a street that you never did before. And then when you look around, you see signs, symbols everywhere, you know, synchronicity. So pay attention to what you feel. Like, there's a niggling feeling, I want to do this. I don't necessarily know why, but it feels good. And if you do that, you will discover the answers to your questions, I feel like. Okay. Now I want to read out this card here, pile number 2. It says offer. Give me a second. 9 also talks about, I usually don't use numerology when I do pick a card or when I do readings, but today it is in alignment with the reading. So 9 is usually about an energy where 9 is an ending, like 999. You might have been seeing 999, or you might see it in the upcoming days, is about something ending, right? So maybe you're done with a certain way of living, or you're done with the reality that you currently have, and it's time for you to create a new reality that is more true to who you are, you know, a different version of you. Maybe it's time for you to express your hidden self, right? Your hidden self. Maybe it's time for you to express everything that has been hidden, like deeply hidden inside of you, that you never fully expressed before. So the card offer says, you have the opportunity to live each day as an offering, to hand over your efforts and the results to divine presence, also known as God, goddesses. All that is. When you do so, you will never feel drained, burnt out, overwhelmed, or uninspired. Instead, divine energy will fill you, and you will experience great joy and success in all that you do. This life is a temple. It is the sacred space where spirit meets form, and form is lived with spirit. You are now called to fully inhabit the temple of life. This means choosing to live with sacred awareness during every moment of every day. Offer all your actions, thoughts, endeavors, and everyday moments to the divine, and become a priest, priestess, and devotee of life itself. Every single thing you do takes energy. When you consciously direct this energy towards a specific frequency, deity, desire, or cause, you are weaving magic, you see? It also talks about focusing your energy on something specific. So I feel like if you have a specific goal, it is really time for you to commit to the specific goal by asking yourself questions, right? By asking yourself questions, by making a reality check, reassessing your life as well as your mind. This could also be that there has a change of your mindset has to happen here as well. Could also be that you need a little bit of more of organization here in order to make this change happen in your life. And the time here talks about it. To me, it also feels like maybe organizing your time a little bit better, right? Where you organize for this new life, or organize for this new version of your life. Okay, you are seeing the value in your efforts, and passionately offering them to the planet and the entire united field. You are serving as an open channel of divinity and amplifying the energy field of a higher power. This act of constant communion will foster feelings of profound connection, inspiration, and protection. This is what it means to live in a meaningful way. You see, we were talking about like maybe you already built up a life, but it doesn't feel meaningful, it doesn't feel exciting, it doesn't feel like you are connected. Maybe you don't even have enough time for family, for talking to people, for your friends, because you're working a lot, right? It's all about like money, or like making money in order to pay the bills, or it's all about like let's say you know, goal after goal after goal, but you know, what is lacking is you feeling alive. What is lacking is you feeling like you're doing something meaningful with your life. When you look back at it, you're like, wow, I really did that, you know. Okay, it says, this is what it means to live in a meaningful way. Whether you're dancing, cleaning, cooking, spending time with loved ones, or doing anything else, the entirety of your experience can be an offering to Spirit. Take a moment to consciously offer up your efforts to the divine and elevate all that you do by flooding it with the pure and infinite light of love. Rise above ego in all your endeavors and relationships. Go beyond the illusion of separation and the pettiness of human struggles and stories. Realize that all people are facets of the divine, including you. Devote yourself to what is real, and waves of peace and healing will follow. So what I'm feeling here is it's interesting because the last quarter of moon we have here in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is all about higher learning, being connected to Spirit, being connected to like almost like living life on a higher frequency. All it means is, you know, like if we live a life that practical, we make money, we pay the bills, everything is stable, everything is normal, but your soul is saying, there's something missing in my life. Meaning is missing in my life. Love is missing in my life. Pure bliss and happiness is missing in my life, right? That is what is missing here. You know, there's so many things to be grateful for, but maybe you don't have enough time, or maybe, you know, talked about time here, right? What do you have time for? And is it really true that you don't have time for all these beautiful things here? You know, it's not always only about work and achieving goals. You know, it's also about living a life that feels meaningful to you. So I feel like that's why the reality check card came out here, because it's almost like the life that you're living right now does not feel like it's in alignment with your soul anymore, and a change needs to happen here. You want to live a life that is more artistic, that is more divine, you know. What that only means is that you want a life, or your soul is, you know, speaking, that your soul wants to be like, it almost feels like your soul wants to be connected to something higher. Your soul wants to pray. Your soul wants to, you know, be connected to Spirit, be connected to God. Your soul wants to live life on a higher frequency, you know, on a frequency that is more peaceful and less about the hustle and bustle. Don't get me wrong, make your coins, it's all fine, but more about like peace, more about like excitement, adventures, right? So sometimes all it takes, you know, when we talk about living a life on a higher frequency, instead of always going out with a plan, I'm going here and I'm going there, or this is my plan, maybe this is really just about like strolling. Do you say strolling? Like walking through the streets, you know, looking at people, just absorbing the energies around you. And I feel like there's also certain signs, symbols, and synchronicities that you are destined to discover here, but this can only happen when you kind of like, it feels like that you break out of your normal routine. It feels like maybe you also have like a tight time schedule, and Spirit is saying like, break this tight time schedule, you know, break your everyday routine, do something absolutely different here. Bring a change into your life here, you know, because there's something that you need to discover, something extremely meaningful that will probably change your life in a very, very deep and beautiful way, that brings more depth to your life, that brings more soulful connections to your life, that brings more love, you know. Okay, my beautiful pile number one, I hope you liked this reading. I hope it helped. Let me know down in the comments if you liked it, if you resonate with it, and I'm going to see you in my next one. I wish you a lovely day. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number three. You chose this beautiful card here. Let's look at your cards. Let's see what your soul wants you to know, what your heart needs to hear, what you need to hear in order to uplift your spirit. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so we have here detoxify, full moon in Taurus, we have attend to the details, and we have go for it. Okay, we also have here surprise, we have choice. And we have here happiness. We're gonna get into that in a second. We also have here retreat and recharge. Okay. And we have here beauty and rejection. So the energy that I'm picking up here intuitively, pile number 3, I want to ask you a question. We can see here, like, I don't know how you call that in English, to be honest. It's some kind of grass, I think. You guys would know. You guys would probably tell me in the comments. But we have here 5 of those. It reminds me of the traditional card in tarot, which is the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands is all about like conflict, about feeling like you know, life is complicated, or your relationships with people are complicated, or you feel where you feel like you are in a situation where you have to like fight for your success, or fight for your stability, fight for your happiness. So my question is, if in the last couple of weeks you felt tired or sluggish, or you felt like let's say drained, or you felt like you always have to compete with people, or you felt like, you know, even like life is a competition, like who has the most beautiful life. Maybe you also felt a little bit like let's say discouraged by other people's success, in a sense where you felt like it's a struggle for you to you know, create this success, and for other people it's easy, or you're still in an energy where it feels like it's a struggle, basically. That's what I'm feeling here, because we have here detoxify and we have here surprise. And you know what I'm feeling here is we also have the rejection card here. So it could even be that you felt like the universe is rejecting your wishes, or you have been rejected by somebody. Maybe you're also longing for a relationship, and the relationship or the situationship that you have been in was very like you know, other people were involved, and it was like or it is something that brings a lot of chaos to you, and you feel just like drained, and you always have to fight for this relationship. There's never really peace or stability, right? So you felt like you know, you have been rejected by a person, you have been rejected by, you know, a company, or maybe your wishes have been rejected, right? Spirit is saying it is really, really time for you to detoxify, because I feel like you're still carrying energies. This could also be at work, right? Talking to customers that are complaining, or, you know, like there's a lot happening, the whole hustle and bustle, right? Bumping into people that are grumpy or something like that. It is definitely time for you to detoxify, because this is not your energy. Okay, what I'm feeling here is I'm feeling the energy here that you took on a lot of energies from other people the last couple of days and even weeks, you know. This could even be also in the form of if somebody says something to you, and you know, it is something that triggered you, but it is not your thought, because the source is another person. Like another person says like, oh, you will never find somebody like me, and you never thought that, but just because they said that, you know, it's just an example. You have this thought in your mind, but it does not come from your soul, it doesn't come from your spirit guides, it comes from an outside source. So, and then it triggers you or causes some type of anxiety or whatever. So what I'm feeling here, Spirit is definitely saying it's time for you to cleanse. This could be, you know, through crystals, you know, meditation music, crystals. Also saging is important. This is a must. If you cleanse, I feel like it's time for you to do like a whole cleansing ritual. This could be, you can do this in all, you know, whatever you feel like doing. Could be like you want to have a lavender spray that you spray in your room, or you want to go around with sage, right? Or you want to bring good energy by buying roses. There's definitely here an energy that you need to cleanse, because the energy, also the negative thoughts that you have, the negative thoughts, even belief systems that you have, they were influenced by outside factors, and they're not only yours. okay? You need to cleanse. You need to like buy, even like, you know, if you don't want to do like the whole shebang, you can even buy like a cleansing how do you call that, a cleansing candle or a cleansing spray. Make your own cleansing spray, make your own cleansing bath, cleansing shower, even cleansing water. You can be so creative. Like just let your creativity flow into your cleansing ritual, whatever you feel like is really, really cool to do, you know. Definitely time for you to detoxify, because it almost looks like it says attend to the details. So spirit is saying, or your soul is saying, there are certain things that you have not yet acknowledged or have not yet looked at. Looking at the details feels to me like it almost feels like that are things, you know, the saying, the devil is in the details, you know, like that, you know, a little detail can complete a puzzle, you know, like a little puzzle piece, a little detail can complete the whole puzzle. So what I'm feeling here is spirit is saying to really look at the details. For example, how you feel when you interact with people, or what kind of signs do you get, what kind of dreams do you have. I feel like spirit is very, very talkative right now, especially could even be in your dreams, because we have the moon here. It looks like she's sleeping, so this could be that you had really like intense dreams lately, or very intense feelings even, you know, or you felt very, very sensitive. You need to look at the details, things that are unusual, or certain signs, symbols, and synchronicities that you get, even the ones that you don't understand. Write those synchronicities that you don't understand, write them down, because at some point you will understand them. We also have here the card surprise. It says release your expectations and be open to surprise. So I feel like this expectations this card is talking about talks about your rejection. You have been expecting something and it didn't come to you, and you felt that your wish was rejected. You felt like the person rejected you. You just felt like the door is closed for an opportunity, like the door was closed to have a relationship with somebody, the door was closed to get this job, you know, whatever it is, whatever your situation is. Now, the very, very intense message that I get here for you guys is spirit is saying there is beauty in rejection. And I know it can trigger you, kind of like, what do you mean there's beauty in rejection? Like, rejection makes me feel sad, and I wanted that job, I wanted this person. Sometimes rejection, there's beauty in rejection. Do you know why? Because sometimes there's something that spirit wants us to receive. You want this job, right? You want this job. Let's say it's a high paid job. It's a job that you always wanted. It could even be like a job that really is in alignment with your soul. You wanted to become like an art director or something like that. You know, you wanted this job at this company. You thought this is in alignment with me. This is in alignment with my soul. I feel it. It's the right thing for me. And then you're like, you don't get the job. And then you're like, what the heck is going on here? I'm trying my best, and you know, the universe, God is not giving me this job. What is going on here? Little do you know that spirit has a job that pays double. Little do you know that spirit has a job for you in Paris where you can relocate. You always wanted to be in Paris, so they will help you to get the job in Paris instead of your hometown. Little do you know, I want to say little do you know, I feel like there's a huge surprise here where you felt rejected. You felt like a wish has been rejected. You felt like, you know, an expectation that you had when it comes to a specific person has been rejected, and you felt like, okay, well, that door is closed, you know, like you felt sad about it. Again, there's beauty in rejection because you don't know what is behind the other door, okay? Sometimes we think we want something, and when we get it, or if we would get it, you know, we would understand this is really not what I want. Or let's say, let's make it easy. You go into a shop, there's a wedding, and you see this dress, but you didn't have the money to get the dress on that day. The next day you go there, the dress is gone, and you're like, damn, I wanted to wear this dress to the wedding. And you're like sad and bummed about it. Little do you know, there's an even more beautiful dress in another mall, and you get like a discount. Because it's a special day, like Black Friday or whatever, right? That's the surprise that Spirit is talking about. Whatever has not worked out in your life, you are in it for a surprise. Release your expectations, especially when it comes to other people. You know, like whenever you have expectations, you always give power to the person to disappoint you. So do not have expectations when it comes to other people. Just let life happen the way it happens. If this person is meant for you, they will be with you. If this person is not meant for you, they will not be with you. It's that simple. And I know it's hard to accept, but you know, the struggle that you feel making this relationship work, deep down, you know, maybe it's not meant to be. Okay, this is just an example because a lot of you guys are dealing with other things. Doesn't have to be a relationship here, could also be a job, a career, right? A specific dream that you have, that maybe you need a little bit more time, or there's something better waiting here for you, or you need to, like, or Spirit is waiting to bring something bigger to you, which takes a little bit longer, like a longer time to manifest. And you're like, I have been wishing for that, and it's like 5 months ago I did this ritual and it's still not there. Little do you know that 10 months from now, or like 3 months from now, there is a bigger opportunity coming to you, or an even bigger business plan, an even bigger idea, right? Or the situation, the circumstances that you are in will be better for you to relocate to Paris, to go somewhere else, you know? So that's what I'm feeling here. I'm also feeling here the choice card is very, very interesting, because we were talking about a door being closed. When one door closes, another one opens. Now, that looks like, this is usually like the 7 of Cups when we look at traditional tarot, because for whatever reason I'm channeling like traditional tarot cards here, although it's just oracle cards. 7 of Cups is always about like feeling a little bit like, let's say, lost, or a little bit overwhelmed with like, there's so many things that I could possibly do, and what is the right decision, what is the right way for me, you know? This is that confusion. This is confusion in your mind, which also causes confusion in your life, you know, or causes confusing relationships, you know, causes confusing career opportunities. Now, what Spirit is saying here, it says, worry less about making the right choice and more about being strong enough to handle any outcome. I feel like this is what I was talking about, like specifically when you're dealing with a relationship here, you know, like to just have this peace inside of your, like, you don't want to be with the wrong person, right? So why would you force it? If you feel like something is wrong, and if this person is truly 100% your true love, they will come back. And if they don't, do you not want to meet your true love, the person that you're meant to be with, instead of a relationship that is really like, you know, taking your energy, let's say, you know, really making you feel like life is a struggle, you know? Now, another thing that I'm feeling here is also, you could also be worrying about, like, you could be worried about, like, that you are confused. Like, it worries you that you are confused because you would rather be somebody that is like very clear about your career. You just want to, I feel like you just want to achieve your goal. You want to achieve your goal. You just want to achieve, you know, everything that you always wanted, all your dreams, but you feel like you lack some, you lack direction, or you lack like almost like guidance how to get there. And it kind of worries you. You're like, you know, I want to get to my goal, I don't know how to get there, and it's like, you know, it overwhelms you. So I feel like you might also find yourself feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And Spirit is saying here that you know, the 10th, the details card here also reminds me of, like, I like to work with examples. So let's say you are driving with your car to a bookstore because they have a specific book, and you're like very, very fast. You just want to get to this bookstore, you know, you just want to get there as fast as possible. But as you drive there hysterically and want to get there very, very fast, you miss meeting your true love, let's say, on the street, or you miss finding money on the street, you know, because you were like, so you were just like, you know, wanting to jump into the bookstore to get the book and get out as fast as possible. But attend the details is about, like, what do you see in the stores, you know, when you're kind of like window shopping, when you walk down the streets, what do you see, you know, what do you hear, what do people talk about? Because the answer to your question might be hidden somewhere, you know, it might be hidden, and you can only see that when you slow down You can only see that when you slow down. No need for you to worry, you know. Just because you don't know how to get there, instead of seeing it as, because it's interesting, we can always see a situation from a positive and a negative point of view, and both viewpoints might be right, but we can still choose how we look at it. Is the glass half full or is it half empty? Now, the interesting thing is, if you feel like you still lack direction when it comes to, like, you want to create your stability, you want to create this life that you truly want and love, and you want to have this beautiful relationship, this beautiful life, but you don't know how to get there, instead of seeing it as, I feel lost, I feel confused, and I will never get there because I have a lack of direction, I don't know how to get there, that would be the negative viewpoint. The positive viewpoint would be, I'm on a magnificent, amazing journey to discover how I can get there. I look everywhere for signs, symbols, and synchronicities. I slow down, you know, I listen to people talking on the street because I know that the answer can be hidden in any place. I could hear the answer to my question from a stranger. I could find the answer to my question in a book. I could find the answer to a question in a movie. I could find it in a poem. So instead of looking at it as like, I'm lost in life and I don't know what to do and nothing is working for me, maybe try to look at it as you are on a journey to discover those answers. You are on a journey to discover how to make your dreams come true. It's a magnificent, mysterious journey that you are on right now. And yes, you might feel a little lost here and there, you might feel a little confused here and there, but it makes it even more exciting, you know, be excited to receive the answers instead of staying or feeling like you are lost, because feeling lost is not a bad thing. Feeling lost only means you are already on the track to discover yourself again, you know. Lost is not a bad thing. You can also find lovely things in a lost place. You know, when you go into the city and you're completely lost, but you find this beautiful little tiny cafe that has the most amazing cake. Was it bad to feel lost for a few moments? You know, it's totally fine, because you might discover something amazing here. Attend to the details. Definitely make sure that you have that you go through the streets with your third eye open, you know, to look at all the conversations that you hear around you and the things, even like music. You know what's interesting? I went to a cafe for the first time, you know, to work on some things, and when I walked inside of the cafe, they were playing a Latino song that is very, very unknown. Like, it's a it's not a popular song. I recently discovered this song, and it just makes my soul feel light. Like, I don't think about work. I just feel like I'm living, you know, like that life that you've, or like the energy that you feel when you live in Cuba. You know, it's all about beaches and palm trees, and the song reminds me of that energy. And it's not necessarily known, or it's not popular. Now I walk into this cafe, and the first song that they play is this beautiful song, you know, that I recently discovered. That would be attend to the details, you know, what is happening around. Your spirit is very, very talkative, very, very like I feel like they're very, very they send you more guidance than you think, but you might not see the guidance because you have to detoxify your mind and, you know, clear your mind from energies that come from other sources, you know. And then we have new moon in Aries. Go for it. So your soul is saying it's time for you to do something, to go for it, whatever that is. I feel like your soul already knows, your spirit already knows what this is, but this is definitely about taking action. Go for it, do it, just do it. Now, if we talk about this card here, happiness, it says your thinking will either make your happiness or take your happiness, you choose. So again, there is an energy where you have to cleanse yourself from the negative energy that you again also absorb from other people here. I feel like it's from other people, it's not necessarily from you, and it's like coming back to your pure self, coming back to a peaceful self, right? To your calm, like coming back to a calm mind, to a calm soul, which is also the reason why we have retreat and recharge here. You know, because sometimes we want to achieve all these things, but we feel confused, we feel sluggish, and we just overall feel not good, right? Then it doesn't make sense to, isn't it more beautiful if you work on a project if you feel inspired rather than feeling tired or feeling confused? You know, confusion also only means, listen, Linda, listen, honey, you need to recharge your batteries. I'm actually going to talk about it in a second. And then we have beauty here. So I almost want to say that you are in it for a surprise. I feel like your life or whatever you have been thinking about, this could be a goal, could be a relationship. Your spirit guides are here. I just saw them. Could be a relationship, could be that you're longing for stability or a stable life, based on a beautiful career. The beauty card to me tells me that you are in it for a surprise, that is even like your life will be even more beautiful than you want it to be. You know, you're still on a journey, so don't rush yourself. But I feel like this rejection felt shitty. Yes, absolutely. You felt like shit. Totally normal. Your feelings are valid, right? But there is a beauty in this rejection because there is a surprise here. Okay, there's something magical waiting here for you. Look at that. There's some type of gift, some type of blessing that is coming to you that is followed, like this rejection that you're going through is followed by a blessing, if I keep it short and simple, okay? Now, let's look at the recharge and retreat card. I'm actually going to read it out to you. Oh, hold on. It was like that, and it was like, well, I'm just gonna put it like that. And again, it talks about go for it. So it's like Spirit is saying, hey, do it. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's something that makes you happy or that takes you out of your funky mood and makes you happy. Or they're saying in general, do anything and everything that takes you out of your funky mood and places you into an energy of feeling happy about life. This could be dancing, cooking, drawing, creating something, singing, whatever it is. Okay, so we have retreat and recharge here. It says, your aims will be best served by stepping back, going within and taking some quality time to rest, refresh and reassess. You see, so you have a goal here, but it tells you that right now it's time for you to take a step back so you see things clearly. There are details that you need to look at. There are things that kind of like, let's say, make your mind cloudy, okay? And if you attend to to detox, if you really focus on detoxing, I feel like that's when the energy is moving again in your life. That's when you can see movement in your life, especially when it comes to like your career, or that possibilities are coming to you because your energy is ready to receive, and your energy is also like it's a good vibration here, it's a good frequency here. And again, it is totally fine. You see, like night and day, we need both. We need rain, we need sunshine, we need night, we need day, we need nighttime, we need daytime. But I feel like if you're right now in an energy that is just a little down, all you need is to rest, and it's not time for you to kind of like go full force. Basically, you need to recharge your batteries, right? You need to recharge your batteries just like you recharge your phone. You don't go out with your phone when your battery is on 1%. Then why do you push yourself to manifest those huge goals when your soul battery, the battery of your heart, your soul, your spirit is on 1%, right? Recharge so that you have enough energy, just like your phone, to manifest those huge things for yourself, okay? So it says, although it may seem counterintuitive, when there is so much work to be done and you are striving to reach a goal, you will get where you want to go more easily and enjoyable if your body, mind, and spirit have a chance to relax deeply so that you may emerge refreshed. Just as soil cannot be constantly cultivated if it is to bring forth a lush and abundant lush and abundant crop, we cannot drive ourselves relentlessly and expect to thrive. Consider also the dance of the moon, which regularly waxes, wanes, and disappears behind the veil before emerging again to bless the earth. You see, didn't we talk about that a blessing is coming to you? I knew it, because we have the word bless here, and again, it's also attending to the details, little words, right, that seem to appear everywhere you go. Consider also the dance of the moon, which regularly waxes and wanes and disappears behind the veil before emerging again to bless the earth with her gorgeous magical light. Take a moment to relax deeply. Breathe in and out. Notice where you are holding tension in your body. Breathe into those areas and let them release. Once you feel centered and grounded, you will know what this card means for you, and you will also know what to do. It's almost like as you detoxify, as you retreat and recharge, that's when you see like, oh my God, there's so many opportunities for me to get what I want, and now I am ready to go for it. Now I have the energy. I have the inspiration, I have the passion. My soul battery is charged 100%. Now I have the energy to go for it, okay? Where were we? It might be time for a vacation. Perhaps you will benefit from staying in and spending time with yourself rather than going out with your parents, with your partner or friends. Or it could be high time for a self-care endeavor such as a warm bath, a massage, or a good night's sleep. Even a few minutes of meditation, deep breathing, or spending time in nature can make all the difference in the middle of a busy day. No matter how you choose to do it, be sure to calm your mind and let it be still before rushing straight back into the action. Once you've given yourself sufficient rest in the sacred sanctuary of silent self-care, you will benefit from honestly assessing your schedule. Is there anything you've been doing out of guilt, habit, or obligation that detracts from your ability to live the life you truly desire? Release any outmoded stories that keep you from vitally serving your soul. Furthermore, rest will help you to get clear on the situation you're asking about. The answers are all there for you. They simply need a little quiet time so they can emerge. You see? That is lovely, guys. There's a blessing coming to you. Just chill. Honestly, just chill, just relax. The interesting thing is with the rest and recharge card, I actually did that recently. So I felt so sluggish. I felt so drained. I didn't know why. Do you know what I did? Fortunately, I have a window right by my bed. So I just laid down, listened to some intense meditation music, and my cat was there. I was cuddling with her. I was just laying in bed and looking outside of the window, and I tried not to think about anything. I just wanted to be there and breathe and just relax. That's all I needed, and I did that for a whole day, and it really worked wonders. So you might want to try that, but again, you can be completely creative, whatever you feel pulled and called to do in order to rest and recharge, okay? Because I feel like you are in it for a surprise. I'm telling you, there's a blessing here waiting for you, okay? So fuck that rejection. There's something beautiful coming to you. Okay, my beautiful pie number 3. I hope you like this reading. Let me know down in the comments if you liked it. Also, if you like this kind of style reading, I show the cards today. Yeah, and I would love to see my next one. I wish you a lovely, lovely day. Take a rest. Have a beautiful bath, and I'm going to see you in my next one. I wish you a lovely day. Bye.